If you were to talk with Joe Arsenis, he would verify how true it is that distractions can be costly. Listen to the police report regarding Joe after his recent arrest of robbing a convenience store in Nashville, Tennessee. Joe stated that before he went in to rob the store, he was concerned about all the traffic on the street the day of his arrest. He decided, rather than trying to find a place to park his car, then take time to lock it up so no one would steal it while he was robbing the store, he decided it would be much quicker to flee on foot rather than by car after the robbery. After all, he thought, I can come back and retrieve my car after everything cools down. After Joe robbed the store, he took off running down the street. However, it wasn't long before he heard someone chasing him, and when he turned around to see who it was and how close they were in catching up to him, he ran smack dab into a concrete pole, knocking himself out. If there's a good thing that comes out of Joe's story, it's that his head should be completely healed by the time he gets released from his 5-year jail sentence that the judge placed upon him. For you and me, not just for a 5-year jail sentence, but for a lifetime sentence, when it comes to considering our need of Jesus, any distraction from that need can be fatal. As I think about this devotional, another title that would be appropriate could be, We Have to Grow Up Before We Can Go Up. Proverbs 4:20-22 reads, My son, give attention to my words, incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them depart from your eyes. Keep them in the midst of your heart, for they are life to those who find them. In Hebrew, the word attention means to be completely devoted to something. When this happens, then it's no longer a chore or a religious duty to follow and obey the words of the Bible. It now becomes a desire, a craving. And when this takes place, you begin to learn something very important, and that is that God made you for a purpose. And that means He has a plan. And unlike what happened to Joe, you're no accident. At this moment in time, you may not have discovered where you fit and what your purpose is in life, but God knows, and He has not forgotten or overlooked you. Jeremiah 1:5 reads, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you and I sanctified you. In other words, He set you apart for a great purpose. Don't miss that important word, apart. God Himself has set you apart for something very special. The dictionary explains the word apart as being separated, not together with all others, at a distance, away from each other. Simply put, that means you're not to run or hang with the majority of the crowd. When your delicate fingers were little more than a web, even before your heartbeat registered on the monitor, or the doctor could say with assurance your gender, God knew all about you. He set you apart. You were made by the Lord for a unique reason. You were given special talents that no one else has, a purpose that no one else can fulfill. Sometimes doing what is opposite of what the world says we're to do can be difficult, especially when you find yourself alone in the process. You may even question yourself and your image, but that is because you have been programmed to follow society's standards. That's why you're uncomfortable in certain places and around certain people. Doesn't matter how hard you try, you simply are not going to fit into those places, nor with certain people. God has a plan for you, and it lasts far beyond this life that you can now know and see. It was John Mason who wrote, Each person has been custom made by God the Creator. Each of us has a unique and personal call on our life, to be our own selves and not copies of other people. If not, remember that distractions can become costly. This is Dale. I bring you greetings from CRA Ministries International, Goodyear, Arizona.